Hello friends, I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm asking one of my viewers who are visiting Japan for the first time so that you can learn something from his travel experience. So thank you for coming today.
You are very welcome. It's great to be here.
So may I have your name and where you're from?
My name is Dan and I'm from Essex, but I work mostly in London.
What brought you to Japan this time?
I love the culture, the history, the people. I know people always say it's anime or manga, that kind of stuff. Not really for me. Back in lockdown, I used to watch walking videos of Japan and stuff, and I kind of like how the streets looked and stuff. I thought it looked beautiful, the architecture. And then I started to read more about the history, the culture, that kind of thing, the people. And then I started watching more YouTube videos. Then a year ago I found your channel, which has been a blessing. Found other YouTubers. And then I started my own Instagram page. Initially kind of to learn about Japanese, study the language, but it's now more about the history, just posting pictures, and the whole kind of study community.
So I've been following his Instagram past 1 year, and I was seeing everything, how he's studying Japanese and how he's getting prepared for Japan trip. So it's been very interesting that now you're in Tokyo and talking like this.
Yeah, it's a bit surreal. It's weird because just walking around Tokyo, you see all these buildings that you see on screen on YouTube or in books, and to actually be here, you can't wow, it's surreal but amazing.
So this time it was your first flight to be on ever.
Yep, yeah, totally. It was scary, a little bit nervous. Just for various reasons. I've never been on a plane before. So with the help of my girlfriend, who's very supportive, I was like, this is time to do it. Love Japan. So yeah, it's nerve-wracking. 14 hours is a long time to be in the air. So a lot of films, a lot of videos on my phone and stuff like that. The first couple of days, quite overwhelmed by it all, which we were talking about earlier. And initially I was like, have I done the right thing?
Oh really?
Yeah, I think, and not because of Japan, because of me. I was kind of like, I knew some basic Japanese, but getting here, I was kind of like, wow, I actually, I'm not at the level I thought I was. So it's quite eye-opening. The jet lag took me a couple of days to get over. But I just had to I'm here now, come all this way. Spoke to my girlfriend, who was very supportive. Some other friends of mine were really like, you know what, you'll be okay. And then I started to go out, get involved in things. And once I started getting more involved in things, the whole thing started kind of blossom. And again, those initial feelings were nothing to do with Japan or the Japanese people, who have been amazing. It's more down to me. That was my fault. So I had to kind of adapt and kind of grow from that situation. But yeah, it's been a learning curve, but definitely worth it.
I have the practical questions first. How was the entry process to Japan at the airport? Did you arrive at Haneda Airport?
Yeah, so Haneda Airport, really easy. I did the Visit Japan online thing. Yeah, so I saw it mentioned in one of your videos. So I literally did that. It took me 10 minutes on my phone. You just need your passport details, where you're coming in, your dates, and also the hotel where you're staying. And that's it, it's done. And then on the plane coming over, I saw they're trying to give the paper forms out to people. And I felt a little smug, because I was already done it. And then when I got to the airport itself, really straightforward. Had a queue for maybe 10 minutes, and then a lot of people were doing paper forms, but I had mine on my phone, scanned it, did some kind of fingerprint bits and pieces. That was it, really easy.
This time you are visiting only Tokyo, as you said earlier, but when you plan your trip to Japan, did you think about visiting other places like Kyoto or other parts in Japan too?
I did. I did toy with going to Kyoto on the Shinkansen, but then it kind of would have been too much doing one day, so I had to stay somewhere overnight, but then I already paid for the hotel in Shimbashi, so I didn't do that, but I don't regret that, because I've already done all the stuff I wanted to do. I've gone to all the places I wanted to go and visit, and I've seen more on top of that as well, and so I'm happy. I mean, maybe next time I'd like to maybe go to Kyoto. I thought my first 2 weeks, I'll try to kind of keep it simple, so to speak. So I didn't have kind of set plans for each day. I had things I wanted to do. like Tokyo Tower, Shibuya Sky, Enoshima, that kind of stuff. I chose to stay in Shimbashi. Again, as you mentioned earlier, one of your videos, to kind of you stayed somewhere near there as well. And then I kind of thought in terms of like location, it was good, and I'm pretty happy with what I chose. You know, I'm 15-20 minutes walk away from Tokyo Tower, 20 minutes walk from Ginza, Tokyo Station. I got the Ginza line, you have a Mote line, there's parks nearby as well.
You said the business hotel this time, and the room might be a little bit smaller than the world standard, but how is it okay for you?
Yeah, when I first saw it, because I'm quite tall, quite a big build, I was kind of like, okay, I knew it was going to be small, but I was like, it's just small. However, the bathroom is still very small. When I shave, I had to kind of duck down so I can see the mirror if you don't bang my head. But the room itself, it's small, but it's cozy. And the bed is really good. You know, at night time, it's very cozy. And then I get like a nice view of Shimbashi out the window as well. Nice. Yeah. It's got aircon, which for the past 2 weeks has been a blessing, because it's been very hot. Yeah. But yeah, the hotel, yeah, I know it's a business hotel, but for what I did it for, it was great. You know, most days I'm out for 12 hours anyway, so it's there to sleep, you know, to shower, shave, that kind of stuff, and it does the job for that. And it's staff are lovely, really nice, it's clean, so yeah, I'm really happy.
Probably you are nervous about something about Japan, and also you had an expectation, and I'd like to know what was kind of how different with the reality. Is there something kind of expectation and something was different in the...
I mean, it's a difficult one. I think maybe the expectation was more on me. You know, I thought I would find it easier just to kind of go straight in and just get on with stuff. You know, I always say, no matter how much research you do in advance and you think it's enough, do more research, you know. I mean, my Japanese was nowhere near as good. That's what I thought it was. And that's been quite humbling, but I kind of knew that anyway. And so I've now kind of found that out in a kind of harder way, but it's a good lesson to know, because now next time I hopefully come back, I'll be more prepared. I can go away with what to do to improve myself. But I mean, in terms of experience of Japan itself, it's, you know, I think it's met them in a good way as well. You know, like I say earlier, that was more on me. You know, that was down to my own expectations, my own faults and stuff. But again, you learn, you grow, you become better. And so it's definitely changed me in a good way. I definitely feel I'm going back a stronger person than what I came. And I know it may sound over dramatic. I've only been 2 weeks, but just to experience a whole different culture, you know. There was a writer, I can't remember his name, who said that Japan is like Alice through a looking glass. It looks very similar, but when you step through that glass, it's completely different. And I kind of get that.
How just doing a solo travel?
Not lonely, but it's weird. The first few days when I was out and about, and whenever I heard like an English accent, I'd turn around like, oh, English person. I can talk to them. You know, it's like, they don't want some random stranger they'll come to them on a holiday going, talk to me. So that's kind of getting over that. And like, there was that initially. And again, there are times you're walking around, you see something and you want to say to the person next to you, oh, look at that. But you can't. But, you know, you can take a picture, you can send the picture. You know, some friends of mine are taking pictures, send it and laughed about it. And there are times like, you know, you're in a restaurant by yourself and you're seeing people in a group chatting and laughing. And then I guess it kind of brings home just how important like communication is, you know. Yeah. Talk to someone, to have that connection with someone, you know. So, and today when we had lunch, that was really nice to have actually a conversation over lunch, because I've not done it for a while. So that was really, really nice as well, so thank you.
So there are some difficult times, but it didn't make you feel like you don't want to come back to Japan or something like that?
No, definitely not. I mean, the first couple of days or so, I do remember saying to my girlfriend, I can't do this, I want to go back. And I was just being stupid. That was my fault.
I think everyone's the same.
Yeah. And that was my fault, you know. And then I was just like, you know what, grow up. Just, you know, it's weird because normally I'm always quite kind of laid back, easygoing person, and you know, I tackle stuff as it comes and stuff. But I think it's the first time, because I was so out of my depth, even I was a little bit okay. Yeah. But I got over it, and yeah, I definitely would like to come back again.
So you stayed in Tokyo about 2 weeks, and where did you what do you recommend to other travelers coming to Tokyo?
I would recommend don't get the train all the time. Walk to places. I walked from Shibuya to my hotel in Shibashi, so about an hour and a half walk. But it was great. It's like night times. So you had that typical Tokyo feel to it, with the lights on, the big city and stuff. And then you see stuff that you wouldn't normally see when you're walking. You're on the train, sorry. So you'll see buildings or temples or little shops, that kind of stuff, or you'll see something in distance, and you'll be, what, I'm gonna go and look at that. I think some of the architecture in Japan is incredible, and some of the building design is amazing. And in London, you have a lot of these kind of high, tall buildings, but you can't go in them at all. They're purely office workers. But here, quite often, you see these massive, tall, amazing buildings, but the first few floors are like shopping levels. So you can go away, you look around, you can explore. You might see a shrine or a temple somewhere, or you just see everyday Japanese life, which I didn't want just to go all the touristy things. Shibuya is great, Shinjuku is great. Those kind of places are amazing. But also, do day trips. I went to Inoshima, and that was incredible, absolutely beautiful. I can't describe how pretty it is, and how amazing it was to be there.
You've been studying Japanese. May I ask about that? How long have you been studying and how it's going?
Well, I've been kind of attempting to study for about a year and a half now. It's not gone that well. I think because of a combination of being busy with work, trying to find the time, trying to be consistent. This whole trip, for me, has been an eye-opener. I knew my level was pretty basic. But there's a lot for me to kind of take away and look at. I'm going to kind of start from scratch, because I do think with learning a language, it's also a good way to learn about the culture as well.
So you continue studying?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, again, the first few days I was like, "Oh, what am I doing?" But yeah, now definitely it's now made me more determined to kind of study. Also, I just kind of think. Like we mentioned at lunch, I kind of think when you come to Japan, a lot of people say you can get by without knowing much Japanese, and you can, but I kind of think it's a courtesy to kind of at least make the effort to try and learn some keywords, some phrases, that kind of stuff that are going to be helpful to you. So I do think you do come to Japan, you should at least have some kind of maybe the basics. I mean, nowadays it's very easy. You've got Google, your phone, translate. You can take the picture, Google Lens, that kind of thing as well. And there's so many kind of guidebooks and toilets, online help. There's videos like your videos, they help people as well. And there's videos help you learn Japanese, that kind of thing. I think a good tip is to try and find maybe some restaurants have the English menus, just to help ease you in. Don't rely on them all the time. But it helped, because the first time I went to a ramen restaurant and then you had the touch screen, I sat down, and you always see it on TV, there's big ramen, there's big bars where you all sit down really close to each other. That can be quite intimidating for the first time doing it. But to actually have that screen there to help you, you're kind of getting past that barrier already. And again, don't rely on it all the time. But maybe the first few times, it's not a bad thing to do. And I know people laugh at me, but if you're in Tokyo or another country, maybe, and for me personally, try to find a British pub. Now, I know people laugh, and I used to always be like, why are you going to a British pub for? You're going to abroad. However, for me, those first few days, they really helped as a way of kind of grounding. To have a surround that's a bit familiar, sit down, just kind of get my thoughts, to calm down, just to kind of think about things.
There might be lots of viewers that haven't been outside the country or haven't traveled before, and so do you recommend to go to Japan or any other countries?
Totally, 100%. Obviously go to a country that you have an interest in, that you are passionate about, that you care about. Don't just go to Japan if you're not interested in Japan. If you're interested in Italy or Spain or Australia, go there. But for me, to actually for Japan to be my kind of first trip, it was amazing, 100%. It's for the last couple of years now, it's been my dream to come to Japan. And with help my girlfriend and stuff, I was able to kind of like bring that forward. So I had to come this year rather than next year. And totally, I mean, it's not just, you know, experiencing a different culture, but, you know, you learn more about the history, about the people, but also it's kind of like it's growth for yourself as well. You know, it's like you put yourself in a situation that you're at your comfort zone, and I think when that happens, you're either gonna just fall apart or you're gonna grow and become stronger. You know, those first couple of days I weren't too sure what way I was going to go, but thankfully it's maybe a stronger person, a better person. But yeah, I mean, 100%, if you're even thinking about going to Japan a little bit, do it. It's absolutely amazing.
Any message to someone thinking of visiting Japan?
It's amazing. You won't regret it. Watch this man's videos. They're amazing. They're so helpful. But yeah, you know, also, you know, so many now YouTube videos, you know, that you can watch people doing similar travel experience. You can get ideas and that kind of stuff. You know, also don't feel you have to do certain things because people say you have to do it. It's your holiday. Do what you want. You know, if you want to go to a British pub, go to a British pub. If you want to have ramen every night, have ramen every night. You know, do it. So it's your holiday. Do what you want to do, you know, and make the most of it. But go out, see people, explore. You'll have an absolutely amazing time.
Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Hope you have a great rest of the trip today and have a safe flight back to London.
ありがとうございます。Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。